Good morning, everybody. Tropical update, Wednesday, July 7th, 2010. Today's focus continues to be on our Invest 96L, which is now moving off the Yucatan Peninsula. This is the first visible shots of the morning here, and you could see kind of a mid level circulation just starting to come off the Yucatan Peninsula right here. And there are some thunderstorms starting to try to develop around this mid-level circulation. So this could be the beginning of something today. I'll show you some of the conditions, and the conditions are not incredibly favorable for this system. But we still have to watch this. Could see some development as it nears the coastline tomorrow, probably later tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night. It'll start to approach the South Texas, Northeast Mexican coast, the coastline here. So we'll have to watch that. But that's what we see this morning. Still nothing at the surface. Hurricane hunters are supposed to go in there today and investigate this afternoon. We'll see if they cancel that or not. The National Hurricane Center right now is giving this about a 40% chance of development. And that seems about right. I'm still agreeing with that. About 30 to 40% chance. Here's the water vapor view before I show you the shear. Upper low right here, moving onshore of the Texas coast now. We really need this to get out of the way for our system to develop. If this could move, we could have a little window of opportunity of some lighter shear, maybe a little anticyclone that could develop right in this area. So this really has to get out of the way, and we'll have to see. We're kind of in a squeeze event right now with this system. We have strong high pressure building south and west. That's where that you can see this on the water vapor imagery, and that's the heat wave high over the east coast. So that's building down here, and then we have our upper low here, little squeeze play, and we have the strong northerly wind shear right in this section here that was just blowing apart our system here. So there's a little window of opportunity here if this upper low could get out of the way. We'll have to see, and that's why I still say we might get some development as it nears the coastline. So we have to maintain watching this system. And so the key will be get this upper low to move out of the way, and we'll see what will happen. And again, just showing you the bigger picture, you can see this big high pressure area right in here, heat wave high. And it's pressing south and west. You could see it just pressing, and that's what's going to push this to the west-northwest. Again, high pressure, our savior here for the United States so far. And boy, it'd be nice if this could continue the rest of the season. But the bad news is it pushes a lot of these systems into the Gulf of Mexico as well. Big upper low right off the east coast. I'll show you this on the other satellite here, what might happen to this guy out here. Here we have the Eastern Atlantic Caribbean view. You remember I was showing you that tropical wave out here that we were watching, and I was watching for the last 2, 3, 4 days move from the Eastern Atlantic this way. Well, some of this energy might get intertwined into this upper low. This upper low is forecast to dive a little southwest, then west, and then eventually north. Be interesting to see what happens to this, if this could work its way down to the surface and maybe acquire some subtropical or tropical characteristics. It'll eventually get pushed off to the north as a trough develops along the east coast this weekend. So for those of you in the northeast and New England area, I would keep a watch on this guy. You never know what's going to happen. Something to look at the next few days. Just kind of watch it and see what happens. Could see some kind of development out here. It's especially if it can get near the Gulf Stream and get some of this tropical moisture involved into it. You never know what'll happen. All right, here's that shear product from Sims, and you could see again, looks like it's coming right off the Yucatan here, and you could see strong wind shear here, upper low here. If upper low can move out, this can move a little quicker away from this shear here. We could get into a better upper level environment right near the coast here. So we'll have to see how that evolves, but could get some slow development today as it's still in a nice little spot here of a lighter shear. And this will kind of show us where the system is going. For those of you that don't really look at this map much, this is our big high pressure here. That's our upper low here. you just kind of look at these little arrows. It'll kind of tell you where a system will go. So we're right here. We're looking at this system. Well, you can see it's going to move off to the west-northwest. This high is going to stay here. It's actually building a little south and west, so it's going to keep pushing this off to the west-northwest. And again, just looking at water temperatures here. This is the depth of the 26 Celsius isotherm. I love this map. This is good. I like the heat content map too, but this shows you a lot as well. You can see we've had these cooler waters right near the Yucatan, and this has probably thwarted some development, land and this. So it's going to have to work its way away from the Yucatan, almost like Alex did, for it to develop. And it's kind of disorganized right now, so it's going to take a while. That's why I said once it gets closer to the coast, we could see some development. Yes, the waters have cooled a little bit in this area for Alex, but they can still develop a tropical cyclone. No problems with that. And again, one more map. This shows you the low-level vorticity, 850 millibar. This creates spin for a storm, and you can see it's kind of been stretched out. The one at the upper levels of the atmosphere, the vorticity is closer to here, 850s here. It's still not stacked well enough for development, and that's why it's kind of disorganized right now. All right, let's run through the models real quick on Invest 96L. This is probably the model that's developing it the most right now. This is the HWRF model, and it develops the system into a tropical storm right before landfall. And you can see here's landfall just south of Brownsville, a little north of where Alex went ashore, and that's probably a very good track because this is a little farther north than Alex is. So it's probably going to come in closer to Brownsville this time if we get some development out of this. So this is a pretty good, accurate model depiction right here, and this is probably what's going to happen. This is the way I see it. If it's going to develop, it's going to develop right before it makes landfall. A couple other models real quick. Parallel GFS showing again this northern Mexico landfall. And UK Met, these are all valid for tomorrow afternoon, by the way, just to let you know. And UK Met, again, weak low, northern Mexico. And you can see it brings this other system out here, our upper low, starts bringing it down to the surface out here later tomorrow. So, again, be interesting to watch this off the eastern seaboard here, see what happens over here. And again, some of the specific models on Invest 96, these are some of the early run models. Just a bunch of them here, and you can see they're focused right here, right near Brownsville, just south of Brownsville. But this definitely looks like where it's going to eventually come ashore, and looks like probably later tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night would be the time frame here. And last but not least, the intensity models. Now, I take these with a grain of salt a lot of times, even before a system is even developed. Just fun to look at, but it kind of shows you what the synoptic environment is. But a lot of times these are very inaccurate. It's tough, But anyway, most of them barely bring this system to a tropical storm. You can see they're pretty much bunched up in this area in here. They're really the only big model that brings it. The strongest model right now is the HWRF, which brings it to a pretty strong tropical storm right now. So just an overview of what's going on. We're going to keep watching Invest 96L. As it makes its way towards the northern Mexico, southern Texas coast. We'll also be watching our upper low right off of this east coast here, see if it could get some of this tropical wave energy sucked into it, and who knows what'll happen out here. Just something to watch. National Hurricane Center hasn't even tagged this yet, which seems to me that they won't be interested in really naming this if it even, how this goes, could become a subtropical or tropical something, and they'll never even look at it. But I'm going to keep watching it. It's an interesting feature. So that's about it for today. None of the models really have any development the next 5 days. We do have the Euro model is showing late next week, maybe in the Western Caribbean might see some development again as this large high pressure stays over this area here. We'll have to see if that's going to be the pattern so far this early tropical season. Looks like the pattern might be changing towards the end of the month. We'll have to see if that happens. Right now, NAO is pretty much positive, which will keep this strong high over this area. Have a good day, folks, and we'll have another update tomorrow. Take care.